So, sir, we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
You had done the Jan Ki Baat survey, right, in UP. Can you take us through the highlights of it?
So, okay, I haven't personally gone there and done, but the team has done.
Got it.
So we got to figure out two things. The Jan Ki Baat survey was mostly to do with a kind of a survey without the seat predictions. And then you have the sea water, which is coming out and giving you a sea prediction. So let's look at it from both the perspective.
Okay.
Now, if you look at it, the personality wise, Yogi Adityanath is doing a fantastic job. But at the same time, we are seeing a very, very strong comeback as far as Akhilesh Yadav is concerned.
Is it?
Okay.
That's quite surprising for me.
So the point is that, you need to understand that there are three dimensions to this whole thing. The first dimension is in terms of the caste and religious configuration. Now, Yadavs are solidly going behind Akhilesh. 90% of Yadavs are expected to go with Akhilesh. 90, that's a big, big number. And then 80% of Muslims are consolidated behind Akhilesh. Okay. Now, these two alone will not give you the kind of victory or even the leap towards 200 seats. But then Jat, 60% of Jats are also moving there. So what does it show? It shows that 2-3 things are coming out clearly. Akhilesh is emerging as a challenger. Most of the opinion polls still suggest that Yogi is winning, predominantly because there is a consolidation of other caste votes. The Brahmins, the Thakurs, the OBCs, the SCs, the non-Jatav SCs, the STs are all consolidating behind Yogi. Now, this is how the whole thing is shaping up. Now, and another very important thing to note, which probably is not looked at by many of the sophologists, is 42%. The choice is going to be based on the candidates. The candidate is going to play a very important role. Only 38% is going to be for the party. So what is going to happen is the candidate selection is going to play an important role, whether BJP on its own would cross 300 or would get stuck by around 250, 270, which is what the sea water is now predicting. It's predicting. Or personally, I've heard that Akhilesh is expecting 250 plus. He is personally confident of 250 plus. On the ground with MYJ votes, can you get 250? No. Not possible. Okay. He needs that additional, push. Is it going to come? $1 million question. Can it come? I would say 70-30. 70% the chances are it will not come because SCs are not going to go behind Akhilesh, basically because the Yadavs and the Jats and the SCs have a lot of legacy behind them, the history behind them. So it will be very difficult for them to reconcile. So as a result of which, it can be safely considered that BJP would come back in Uttar Pradesh, but may not come back with the kind of majority with which they came in 2017 and even in 2019. And this is not going to be the same case when you go to 2024 election. Okay. Because in an assembly election, your local issues will dominate more than anything else.
Yeah.
But let's make it one thing clear. For the 2024 narrative to be set right, UP must be one. Okay. And what is the biggest issue? Inflation is the biggest issue. Okay. Handling of COVID is 5 stars to Modi and Yogi, but inflation is a challenge there.
Got it. So Yeah, in several states, your people vote for assembly differently and for center differently and all that. But based on what I have seen, UP does not vote like that, right? Usually, isn't it?
See, when I was in UP in 2020, just before the COVID outbreak, the order of preference for a Uttar Pradesh voter is like this. Number one, they vote for Modi. Number two, their neta is Yogi.
Right.
Number three is only the BJP. Okay. So now, that's why I said 2024 is a different narrative altogether.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to have Mahagathbandhan, if you're not going to have all these things, we are looking at even getting back to 2014 numbers in 2024. But 2022 is going to be a tricky one. In fact, I heard this even in the 2020 when I toured Uttar Pradesh exhaustively. Okay. People saying that, look, as far as CM candidate is concerned, even Akhilesh can make it, even Mayawati can make it. It all depends upon how the Hawa builds up and the narrative happens. Okay. So I would say Yogi is coming, but I would be skeptical to say that he's going to come with a huge majority.
Understood. But,
and it's a sorry, Anand,
yeah.
It's quite some time to go. See, we are in September, and the election is expected around February, March. So we have ample time, and it's all depends upon a third wave and vaccination progress. Is there going to be some kind of because the food subsidy will come to an end by November, if I'm right, Diwali time. Then is there going to be, because you cannot continue to see this meteoric rise in petrol, diesel, and gas prices. Now, this issue needs to be addressed. Even a hardcore supporter of BJP is now feeling little defensive because of the price rise in these areas.
But I thought people were really appreciating Yogi for all the contributions, all the good work that he has done, developmental work that he has done. Okay, that's not impacting or converting into votes this time as much.
No, it will. It will. See, that's why you're not seeing the kind of the backlash which you expect. Okay, Yogi has performed very well. He's been consistently the number one chief minister in terms of its Max or Mood of the Nation or any of those agencies are concerned. There is no doubt about that. But at the same time, UP goes by caste. Okay, and also there would be a lot of undercurrent of dissatisfaction amongst the MLAs, because the corruption at the higher levels have not been there, but the corruption at the lower levels have been there. That also you need to keep. See, one of the key thing, I can only conclude UP elections decisively with a number once the candidates are selected. Because 42% is going to be based on the candidate. Popularity contest is Yogi, but the crucial thing will be this thing.
So we know for a fact now, based on all the surveys, the Sea Water survey and the Junkie Bot survey, Yogi most probably is coming, but the number of seats might go down. That's the crux of the whole thing. But is this kind of a signal to BJP about the reduction in popularity in UP?
No. Popular vote is going to go up. Let me tell you in a point blank manner that they got less than 40% in 2017. They will get more than 42-43% in 2022. No doubt about that. The popular vote is going to certainly go up. There is absolutely no doubt about that, and it will cross 52% in 2024. So what you see is a blip which normally happens in any assembly election. Okay, in any assembly election, there is supposed to be some element of blip which happens, which is invariable.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So even if you compare, see, 2014, they should have won, based on 2014, if you collate, they should have won 350 seats.
Yeah.
They won only 312.
Got it.
Correct? Now, here they got 300 in 2000, if I call it 2019 figures, in the presence of Magagattanda. Okay, so there is no erosion of popularity. There is nothing anti-incumbency. It is a combination of a caste factor and local candidate. 2 C's. Okay, and these are 2 C's which can be handled very well by the BJP unit. That's not a problem. Added to that is the 3rd C, which has been handled very well, which is your COVID situation. UP has handled it very well. Now, the 4th thing which comes into the picture is the inflation, which needs to be addressed. Which needs to be addressed at an all India level, not just in the UP.
Got it. So, is there an impact of the confusion that was there for some time already? I'm going to say probably it's a made out one, okay, an artificial one between Yogi and Narendra Modi ji and all that. Would that have impacted something?
Nothing. There is there is a general perception that Yogi doesn't allow me to make money. Okay.
It should be the case.
Level, it should be the case, but it is politics, right? It is politics. You're playing politics, and you are. So there is a level of anger against him at some sections of people. Okay. So, but that cannot be called as backstabbing, or those are not non-issues. It could probably cost them few thousands of votes in few booths here and there. Should not be more than that. It's only local dissidents. It's not anything else.
Understood.